moving into our next review. Christine, I'd like to talk just for a couple minutes about this new book I just finished reading, Star Wars Thrawn Alliances.
You were suffering through this one a bit.
Well, I'll let you have a look at it there. This is the second book of the first Thrawn trilogy of the
Not to be mixed up with Tron.
No, I'm not a big fan of Thrawn myself. So, I mean, Thrawn's a really interesting character, and this is the second part of the trilogy. I did another one on the first one, simply titled Star Wars Thrawn. This one started out really good. Yeah, I mean, it started out really well. So it starts out with Thrawn has to go meet with the Emperor again, and it's in the same kind of time period. Mm-hmm. It's in between Revenge of the Sith and
it's almost 500 pages. Holy.
It's not that big. It's in between Revenge of the Sith and original Star Wars, A New Hope. Okay, so it's in that time period when the Empire's building up and they're taking over everything. Thrawn gets assigned this assignment by the Emperor, who he has sworn allegiance to in the previous book.
Right.
And he has to go, and there's been a disturbance in the Force that the Emperor has sent. So he sends him and to go with Vader, and they have to go and take care of this.
Okay, so this is Vader is Vader. Okay, this is like after.
Yeah, this is Darth Vader.
Okay.
So he's they have to go and team up, and they hate each other.
But they're in command at this point for everything.
So this is Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's risen through the ranks, and he's in charge of this military operation. But of course, Vader's not going to take orders from him.
No.
So it starts out quite well, and there's this interesting thing. They have to go out beyond the Outer Rim into the unknown parts of the galaxy.
The Delta Quadrant.
Sure. Okay. So they have to go out there. It starts out really well because it's interesting and how they're fighting with each other all the time. But and then it there's two storylines. It's now, but there's also then, back in the day.
Oh yeah.
When
I don't really like it.
Thrawn has to team up with General Anakin Skywalker during the Clone Wars. And it's during the last part of the Clone Wars.
Okay.
Ahsoka has left the Jedi Order. And so Anakin is, he's got his secret wife. And so Anakin has to go out into this area, same places. What is he doing? He's going to look for Padme. Always, this seems to be always the thing with this character.
He doesn't know where she is?
She's gone out there to deal with some stuff and find her old friend, and now she's gone missing. So this happens with this character a lot. I'm not really a big fan of that character. They don't seem to...
Padme?
Yeah.
Basically... I'm not a big fan either.
The way that she's used, she's just there to be rescued a lot of the time.
And she dies of a broken heart, which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that wasn't written very well.
Hysteria.
Sure. I mean, they could have just said it was complications from the birth. Would have made more sense.
I know, but it makes women look weak.
Anyway.
It's not a good character.
So Anakin Skywalker has to team up with Thrawn back during the end of the Clone Wars. And so then there's this juxtaposition between, Thrawn teaming up with Vader and Thrawn teaming up with Anakin Skywalker back in the past. Anyway, it starts out good, but it devolves into just kind of villain of the week first 2 seasons of Clone Wars, where there's no stakes for these characters because they're what's going to happen to them later on.
Right, they're going to survive.
And so why are we going on this dumb adventure, right?
Yeah.
There isn't a lot of character development. There's, lessons, I guess, but you have to get to the end of the book. So I got about a third to maybe a halfway through this, and I'm like, oh, God, this is just not very good. The stuff with Vader and Thrawn is quite interesting. Although I mean, nothing's really going to happen to either of them.
No.
They both hate each other.
Something does happen to Anakin, I suppose.
Well, yes, but not dealing with Thrawn. And I'm going to spoil this. So in the end, Thrawn reveals to Vader through a conversation in the epilogue at the end that he knows he's Anakin Skywalker. And Vader just is denying it. He's like, Anakin Skywalker is dead.
Oh, that's what they all say.
Okay? Which is an empty gesture. But Thrawn understands and he knows, right?
Well,
he's figured it out.
But in the Jedi Sith world, he is dead.
Yes.
Yes. That's the thing.
Yeah,
right?
Vader killed Anakin Skywalker, as they say in their Jedi with their their superior linguistic abilities, right? They're always it's got to be a British thing.
Video killed the radio star.
This one wasn't as good as the first one. I'm hoping that the next one is going to be better because the next one is Thrawn, Star Wars Thrawn Treason.
Okay.
Okay. So same author, Timothy Zahn. I mean, Thrawn's a really interesting character. And
what's he like?
He doesn't show a lot of emotion. He's very calm and measured and very perceptive and observant. So anytime someone does something, like even micro, what do they call them?
It's perceptive. Micro movements?
Yeah, micro movements, if you're emoting, even something very small, he'll pick up on it.
Does he have the Force?
No, it doesn't seem like his species. We actually learned something in this book about his species, the Chiss, and they have their children can be strong with the Force, but as they get older, they lose that ability.
But they gain their perception, probably.
No, that could just be him, right? We don't know if that's all of his people, but he's extremely smart. I mean, he doesn't necessarily have superpowers or anything. Like, he doesn't have extraordinary strength or anything.
Right.
Like, he doesn't have the strength of a Wookiee. But it's his mind that makes him the most dangerous, right? Because he's able to figure things out before everyone else.
Right.
And that's what makes him really interesting. He's the mastermind villain.
Okay.
And he's not necessarily... He has his loyalty. He's sworn loyalty to the Emperor and to the Empire. But he also has his loyalty to his people as well. The Chiss. And so this book deals with a problem that he believes is a threat to both of them. And Vader's fighting him. He's like, this isn't a problem for the Empire. Okay? We shouldn't be spending our... And he's fighting him with it. He's like, we're not going to, spend Imperial resources on this.
Okay.
This one was a bit tough
500
to
pages
get through.
Slog.
It's like 450.
475.
No, that's because it has at the end of all these things they put an excerpt from another Star Wars book.
So you want to read
it's like read these 20 pages
yeah.
and then go buy the book. They do that of them. So I'm glad I read it. I don't think I'm going to be reading it anytime soon. I just wanted to mention that briefly.